I look anything like I feel, in fact, I look like complete and utter crap right now, don't I? Let's go ahead and fix that. All right, I am a lot more presentable now, at least I think. Okay, so today's topic obviously is about VPNs, and I'm gonna tell you why everybody connected to the internet needs a VPN. And if you're thinking to yourself right now, well, I don't need a VPN, I'm not connected to the internet. Well, you're a big fat liar because you're watching this video right now on the internet. And if you're not, well,
damn, that's talent, or you're in the room or something.
All right, so a VPN stands for a virtual private network, and it does exactly what it sounds like it does. It keeps your connection private, encrypted, and anonymous. But there's a lot of different uses to a VPN. And you might be thinking, as a regular user of the internet, why do I need a VPN? Well, I'm gonna tell you today, at least in this video, a couple of different scenarios of why you might want a VPN. And we're gonna also do a little demo of a VPN service that I'm using, completely unsolicited, they have no idea I'm doing this. This is not an affiliate thing. This is not a sponsorship. This is just me having spent a lot of money in the last week trying out a lot of different VPNs and then going with the best one. So I've kind of done a lot of the research for you, and maybe it'll help you guys in the long run. So that's why I decided to do this video. Plus on Twitter, a lot of you wanted to know more about the VPN service I'm using. So I figured we'd go ahead and do it official. The new Z170 classified motherboard from EVGA features 8-phase PWM, 4-way SLI support, along with top-notch components to offer gamers and enthusiasts more of what they want. A badass motherboard with no compromises. Click the link below to learn more. So when I worked in IT, we had a physical VPN set up through Cisco where we had physical hardware with a built-in VPN and firewall and proxy. So I'll admit, I haven't had to use a service like this in the last 10 years because I had access to a physical one that we controlled that wasn't something I subscribed to. So it all works the same way. But as a subscriber to a VPN service, you're connecting to a server that you pay for, whereas I was used to connecting to a server which we owned and controlled. But since I don't work there anymore, I don't have access to that VPN. Now VPNs do a few things. They mask your IP. So your real IP, your ISP provided IP, is not seen by the internet, which makes it harder for things like DDoS and hacking and whatever else people would do with that IP. Secondly, it tricks the internet into fooling your geolocation, which tells the internet you're connecting from a physical data center or ISP location. And so you can fool the internet into thinking you're anywhere in the world where a VPN is accessible via your service. The other thing it does is it completely encrypts your data, which makes it much harder to hack into your internet or your computer or your connection when the data is encrypted in multiple levels of encryption. Now you might be thinking, I'm not a streamer. No one's gonna DDoS me. Why do I need a VPN? Well, it also tricks the internet into thinking you're connecting from somewhere else. If you were in Germany, you've more than likely sent me a message or been unable to connect to YouTube to watch our Tech Talk live stream on Thursdays because for whatever reason, Germany is very strict on allowing live stream access into the country. So if you were connected to a VPN that was outside of Germany, then you bypass that geolocation lock and you're able to watch live streams and videos and whatever else it may be. Now, another reason that VPNs are actually very, very important is your ISP will monitor the data that you are sending to and from the data center and will throttle your connection in a lot of cases based on what you're connecting to. We all know that there was some big fiasco with Verizon and Comcast and other companies that were slowing down connections to Netflix and YouTube and Amazon and Hulu. Companies that sell streaming services eat up a lot of data. So the ISPs don't like that, so they will monitor the traffic going to and from your router, and if they see that you're going to a high bandwidth service like Netflix, then they slow down your connection. You ever been watching a live stream on Netflix and all of a sudden it pops up and says, Netflix speed has changed, reconfiguring your stream, and next thing you know, you're watching a standard def instead of a high def stream? More than likely, your ISP just throttled you. But if you were on a VPN, the ISP cannot monitor that traffic going to and from your router because it sees one constant stream of encrypted data and cannot throttle you. So you could find that a VPN gives you better internet access and better streaming performance because of the fact that the ISP has no freaking idea what you're doing. All right, so let's go ahead and turn around. I'm gonna give you a demonstration of how a VPN works because one of the problems with VPN services is you never know how fast it's gonna be. Because when you're encrypting that data stream going back and forth to the server, your speed is going to slow down because of the encryption happening on your end, and then the decryption happening on the other end, and then the re-encryption happening on the other end sent back to you and being decrypted again. So that slows down your connection a little bit and increases your ping. By how much? Well, let's go ahead and turn around and take a look.
Transition.
All right, so the service I'm going to be showing you today is called Astrill. A-S-T-R-I-L-L, and this was actually recommended to me by Barnacles, somebody I really trust when it comes to networking. He knows way more than I do, but it's pronounced Astrill, kind of like an ass in front of your nostril. You can actually choose the different type of encryption you want to use right here. So you've got Open Web, which is kind of like a browser base. You've got Open VPN is what we're going to be using here today. When you open up the Astrill service and you log in, you can see all the different servers that you have access to right here. And you can see there's quite a few of them offline, but we've got South Africa. I could connect to Melbourne. That'll be a fun one to do a speed test on. Now each one of these servers also has their own dynamic IP range, so you're not going to get the same IP every single time. Just like your ISP, it's going to release and renew those IPs, which is what's going to keep your VPN worth having, at least if you're trying to mask your IP, which is one of the major reasons why I'm doing this. Now I've gone ahead and turned off the VPN because we want to do a speed test for before and after the encryption so we can see how much speed we're losing. You are going to lose speed by connecting to a VPN tunnel, but how much speed you lose is really going to be dependent on how strong the servers are, how many people are connected to the servers, your distance from the server, the nodes and access points between you and the server. So there's a lot of different things involved here. Now we're going to go ahead and run a speed test before and after. As you can see down here, it shows Time Warner Cable as I showed, and we are going to go ahead and do a begin test, and we'll come back with those results. All right, the results are in. We've got a 12 millisecond ping, a very consistent 354 Mbps connection, and an upload speed of 24.11. So let's go ahead and connect to the VPN here in San Francisco, and that's not actually that close to me. I'm in Los Angeles. It might actually show LA here on the connection, but that's fine. So let's go ahead and reload the page. Now by reloading the page with the VPN on, you can see that our traffic is now coming from the 209 IP. So we're connecting to San Francisco. We're going to connect to an LA server via San Francisco. So my traffic's going to go from where I am up to San Francisco and back, and we'll see how that actually does. All right, so while connected to the VPN, our ping jumped up quite considerably, 100 extra milliseconds. So that wouldn't be desired for, say, gaming, but if you were doing encrypted data transfer, this wouldn't be a big deal. We lost about 90 megabits. You can see we had some fluctuation in there, and we only lost 2 megabits up, about 90 down. That's actually very respectable. There were some services that I connected to, like, let's see here, IP Vanish, terrible service. Never go to IP Vanish. I actually dropped all the way down to 10 megabits per second. 10. That was absolutely unacceptable, so I need to get a refund from them. So let's go ahead and connect to one that's closer, though, because honestly, you would want to connect to one that's near you, unless you were doing the geolocation thing. I changed my mind. We're going to go ahead and connect to New York, because we want to see how the connection across the country is. So we'll do a New York speed test here. All right, we're connected to New York. We'll refresh the speed test, and it's going to show a different location now. You can see now we have a different, well, it still says 209. The rest of the numbers are different. You just have to trust me on that. But we are connected to New York. You can see the geolocation now shows that that's where we are. So let's go ahead and do a speed test in New York. Yeah, so once again, the ping is sitting just over 113 millisecond ping. Connection speed is looking fantastic here at 235, 232. That's very, very, very acceptable. The up, as you can see, is hardly affected. I mean, I wouldn't call that affected at all from the San Francisco test. So as you can see, Astrill's doing a fantastic job of keeping this service very, very fast. All right, so for the last test, we're going to go ahead and connect to Los Angeles. So we'll be connecting to a nearby VPN, doing a speed test at a nearby location. So let's go ahead and see how well this works. So once again, you can see the IP change. So now you're seeing the benefits of a VPN. Now, obviously, our speeds are very, very similar to the San Francisco connection, but look at this. Look at the ping. This is what matters if you're gaming on a VPN. This ping is pretty damn good. It was what, only what, 4 milliseconds higher than without the VPN, and the upload is again fairly unaffected. So you guys can see now why VPNs with a fast service are important, and everybody needs one, trust me. So there you have it. I took Barnacles' suggestion and tried out Astrill, and I have to say it is by far the fastest service I've tried out yet. Now I've tried out quite a few others: IP Vanish, CyberGhost, private internet access, Viper, and just to name a few, and this was by far the the fastest consistently. I've been using this for several days now. I haven't noticed any random disconnects, any slowdowns, no problems connecting to any servers, Skype calls, no problem whatsoever. So I highly recommend going over to Astral and checking them out. I have no affiliate code or anything, and that's just my suggestion. Now, one of the cool things about most VPN services is you don't have to run them on a client level. If you have a router that will actually allow you to plug in VPN information, or if you have a router that's flashable to something like DDWRT, which is a custom firmware, then you can plug in the VPN information into the router, where any traffic going through the router is then tunneled through that VPN. Takes a little bit longer and a little bit more time to change the VPN. You have to log into your router and change it, reboot your router and all that stuff. But then again, if you have a lot of machines that you're worried about actually connecting to the internet and hiding your IP, then you can go ahead and do it at a router level. At a router level. That's hard to say. You can go ahead and do it at a router level. You can go ahead and do it at the router level as well. All right, guys, so that's my video here about VPNs and why you should use one, why it's smart to use one, and I hope it's helped you guys learn something. Also, too, you guys can actually help out in this video because I know a lot of you are using VPN services. Now, if you're using a VPN service that you subscribe to, Astral is like $6 a month or something silly like that. If you buy a year, you get an even better discount. So for $6 a month, protecting your information it's stupid not to. So if you're using a VPN service, why don't you help each other out by doing this? Tell everybody what service you have. Tell everybody what your encrypted download speed and upload speed is, and then what your encrypted download speed and upload speed is, so people can get an idea of what the VPN service speeds are actually like. All right, we're gonna get out of here. I have talked and said way too many words and things. I'm sure there's only a few of you still watching this video. So to the 6 of you who stayed all the way to the end, I love you guys. And to the rest of you, well, you're not gonna hear this anyway, but I will see you guys in the next video. Of course, thanks for watching.